Having taken delivery of all Su-30 MKI fighter aircraft and the deal for contracting 12 more Su-30s meant to replace those lost over the years deferred against the backdrop of Ukraine war. The Indian Air Force is working to speed up the long-delayed upgrade of these frontline fighters. The air service quality requirements for the first upgrade are being finalized. A defense official said, "We are trying to do as much of the upgrade as possible within the country," the official stated. The upgrade process is as much as procuring an aircraft, the official said while explaining that the upgrade is a complex exercise and is being planned in phases. During the early stage of the deliberations, which have been going on for several years now, the Russian side had pitched for entire upgrade to be done in Russia. But given the long timelines, India was inclined to do it in phases, with a major part of it in the country. The Make in India effort and war in Ukraine have accelerated that effort. Effort is on to do basic mission capabilities, fly-by-wire and flight controls within the country, the official stated. The IAF is looking to add new weapons, avionics and sensors and engines on the Su-30 MKIs to keep them contemporary for the next few decades. India had procured 272 Su-30s from Russia, and majority of which were assembled by HAL, and around 11 jets were lost. The IAF has 12 Su-30 squadrons in service and 40 to 50 aircraft are at HAL for overall repairs, officials said. India's non-oil exports to UAE have grown 14% between June and August, the Commerce and Industry Ministry said on Sunday, attributing the uptake to the bilateral deal between the two nations that came into effect this May. India's global non-petroleum exports during the same period grew by just 3% on a year-on-year basis, the ministry said, seeking to emphasize the much higher growth in such exports to the UAE, which were at $5.92 billion compared to $5.17 billion a year ago. Excluding petroleum-related imports, the imports from UAE in the 3 months grew by 1% to $5.61 billion, the ministry noted. Import increase in oil petroleum products is largely on account of the rise in global prices and to a certain extent on an increase offtake in volumes. Further, it is pertinent to mention that bulk of the oil imports from the UAE are of crude petroleum, the demand for which is inelastic and the custom duty for which is very low. It is explained. The sharpest jump in Indian exports to UAE was seen in sugar, up to 37%, cereals 161%, vegetables 82%, inorganic chemicals 74%, and electrical machinery and equipment 67%. The ministry said it expects Indian exports to increase further in the coming months with increasing use of the Indian UAE Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement by exporters and a series of trade promotion events planned in UAE. India is one of the first countries in the world to develop a comprehensive cooling action plan, which has a long-term vision to address the cooling requirement across sectors and list out actions which can help reduce the cooling demand. Cooling requirement is cross-sectoral and an essential part for economic growth and is required across different sectors of the economy such as residential and commercial buildings, cold chain, refrigeration, transport and industries. Union Minister for Environment, Forest and Climate Change Dr. Harsh Vardhan released the India Cooling Action Plan ICAP in a function in New Delhi. The Environment Minister said that the thrust of India Cooling Action Plan is to look for synergies in actions for securing both environmental and socio-economic benefits. The overarching goal of ICAP is to provide sustainable cooling and thermal comfort for all while securing environmental and socio-economic benefits for the society. This will also help in reducing both direct and indirect emissions, Dr. Vardhan said. The minister further stated that India Cooling Action Plan provides an integrated vision towards cooling across sectors encompassing reduction of cooling demand, refrigerator transition, enhancing energy efficiency, and better technology options within a 20-year time horizon. Following benefits would occur to society over and above the environmental benefits: thermal comfort for all, provision for cooling for EWS and LIG housing, sustainable cooling, low GHG emissions related to cooling, doubling farmers' income, better cold chain infrastructure, better value of produce to farmers, less wastage of produce, skilled workforce for better livelihoods and environmental protection. Make in India, domestic manufacturing of air conditioning and related cooling equipments, robust R&D on alternative cooling technologies to provide push to innovation in cooling sector. After several years, the doors of the scriptorium and the editorial room of the prestigious Encyclopedic Sanskrit Dictionary at Pune's Deccan College Postgraduate and Research Institute in Pune were opened for students and general public. The year of completion of this gigantic dictionary project, which commenced in 1948, remains unknown, but the final word count is estimated to touch 20 lakh and would be world's largest dictionary of Sanskrit. Linguist and Sanskrit professor S.M. Katre, founder of India's oldest department of modern linguistics in Deccan College, conceived this unique project in 1948 and served as dictionary's first general editor. It was later developed by Professor A.M. Gattage. The project, Cautiously, under which the website for online access of the dictionary will be made, also consists of a customized software which is presently under testing and development. The Department of Youth Affairs of the Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, Government of India, will launch a month-long nationwide Clean India 2.0 from 1st to 31st October 2022 after the successful campaign of last year. The program is being organized in all the villages across the country through the network of Nehru Yuva Kendra Sangathan, affiliated youth clubs and National Service Scheme affiliated institutions. Briefing media persons in New Delhi, Secretary Youth Affairs Sri Sanjay Kumar informed that Union Minister for Youth Affairs and Sports Sri Anurag Singh Thakur will launch Clean India 2.0 from 1st October 2022 with an aim to clean waste, mainly single-use plastic, and create awareness. The secretary further informed that after the success of first year's Clean India drive, this year 1 crore kilogram waste, plastic, e-waste and other waste will be collected and disposed of with the support and voluntary participation of citizens. Hotspots for waste collection will be tourist places, educational institutions, bus stand, railway stations and the vicinity, national highways, historical and heritage buildings, religious places and surroundings, hospitals and water resource, etc. The objectives of the program are to organize cleaning of public spaces and households across all the districts of country from 1st October to 31st October 2020, involve all segments of society, government organizations including PRIs and non-government organizations, civil society organizations to instill awareness and feeling of pride among citizens to keep their surroundings clean and waste-free. Along with this, the campaign will give the mantra of Swachh Kal, Amard Kal and make this program a people's movement. Legendary actress Asha Parekh will be honored with Dada Saheb Phalke Award for the year 2020. The award will be presented to her at the National Film Awards ceremony in New Delhi on Friday. Announcing the decision, Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Thakur said that the Dada Saheb Phalke selection jury has decided to award Miss Parekh for her exemplary lifetime contribution to Indian cinema. He also announced that the 68th National Film Awards will be held on 30th September and will be presided over by President Draupadi Murmu. Miss Asha Parekh is a renowned film actress, director, and producer, and an accomplished Indian classical dancer. Starting her career as a child actor, she made her debut as lead heroine in Dil De Ke Dekho and has gone on to act in over 95 movies. Miss Parekh is also a winner of Padma Shri, which was awarded to her in 1992. She has also served as the head of Central Board for Film Certification from 1998 to 2001. Output growth in India's 8 core infrastructure sectors slowed to 3.3% in August from 4.5% in the previous month. This is the slowest pace since seen November 2021, with crude oil and natural gas continuing to report contractions, while electricity and steel production clocked sharply lower expansions than in the previous month. Overall output levels in the 8 sectors that make up 40% of the index of industrial production were 1.5% lower than in July 2022, marking the third successive month of sequential contraction. Care Ratings chief economist Rajani Sinha attributed the deceleration mainly to the base effect from August 2021, when these sectors' output had surged 12.2% compared with the pre-pandemic period of August 2019. The output of 8 core sectors have recorded healthy growth of 7.9%. India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant led an official delegation to the third G20 Sherpa meeting held in Yogyakarta, Indonesia from 26th to 29th of September. During the deliberations, Mr. Kant reaffirmed India's commitment and active support to Indonesian presidency's efforts to finalize meeting outcomes for the forthcoming G20 Bali summit in November. He also emphasized the need for G20 to bring enhanced global focus on and strengthen international cooperation and efforts in key priority areas such as sustainable growth, accelerated progress on SDGs, and addressing climate change. On the sidelines of the G20 Sherpa meeting, Mr. Amitabh Kant also held bilateral interactions with his visiting Sherpa counterparts from Brazil, France, Germany, Japan, Russia, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Spain, UK, and US. Pension Fund Regulatory and Development Authority PFRDA will observe 1st of October as the National Pension System Divas NPS Divas to promote pension and retirement planning among the citizens. PFRDA is organizing this campaign under Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. The pension regulator aims to encourage every citizen, whether working professionals or self-employed professionals, to plan towards creating a pension corpus to ensure a financially sound future after retirement. NPS subscribers will enjoy the benefits of tax deduction on contribution, power of compounding, and reap the benefits of regular income after retirement. The Reserve Bank of India's Monetary Policy Committee MPC on Friday raised the policy repo rate by 50 basis points to 5.9%, with RBI Governor Shaktikanta Das citing the persistence of high inflation that necessitated the withdrawal of monetary accommodation to restrain broadening of price pressures and contain second round effects. This action will support medium term growth prospects, Mr. Das added. The committee also voted by a 5:1 majority to remain focused on withdrawal of accommodation to ensure that inflation remains within the target going forward. We are in the midst of a storm arising from aggressive monetary policy actions and even more aggressive communication from advanced economy central banks, he said, announcing the policy. Nothing that these actions had caused tightening of financial conditions, extreme volatility, and risk aversion, he asserted. Despite this unsettling global environment, the Indian economy continues to be resilient. There is macroeconomic stability. However, given headwinds from extended geopolitical tensions, tightening global financial conditions, and a possible decline in external demand, Mr. Das said the RBI projected economic growth in fiscal year 23 at 7%, down from 7.2% it had forecast earlier. The MPS, however, retained the retail inflation projection from the current fiscal year at 6.7%.